Good morning, students. Hope all of you are doing well during this lockdown time. You and your family are safe at home, I hope, and enjoy your days, but take some time for your studies. Okay, today I am going to teach you the topic Federalism, the second chapter of our Civics text, Federalism. So, see, last chapter we have learned about vertical power sharing method. Now, what do you understand by vertical power sharing method? Vertical power sharing means the sharing of powers between different levels of government. Now see, different levels of government, that means central government, state government and local government. And you have learned already Belgium, how smoothly they have accommodated their diversities, isn't it? See, they have amended their constitution 4 times. Why did they do so? To accommodate all the diversities, mainly to give powers of central government to the regional governments. So this power sharing method, it is known as federalism. Now, what do you understand by federalism? Federalism means giving powers are shared between central government and its subordinate units or constituent units. Okay, so see why this federalism is adopted by the countries of the world, mainly to reduce the power of the central government and to give some powers to the state government. So when we talk about governments, there are 2 types of governments in the world. Which are the 2 types of government? One is unitary government, other one is federal government. Now, what is the difference between unitary government and the federal government? Now, listen children, unitary government means there will be only one government, one level of government, that is central government, even though they are having state governments also, sub-units also, but the power is with the central government. Central government can pass orders to the provincial government. Provincial government means that is state government or the sub-units. Am I clear to you children? Now see, once again I am repeating. See, what is unitary government? Unitary government means there will be one level of government or all the sub-units are subordinate, that means dependent on the central government. Central government is having the full authority to take the decisions. Am I clear to you? They can pass order to the state governments or the provincial governments. Okay. Now what about federal government? Federal government means there will be 2 or more than 2 levels of government. Clear? 2 or more than 2 levels of government, and here what happens, central government cannot pass order to the state governments. That point is to be noted. Central government cannot pass order to state governments. Okay. Because you know state governments, they are enjoying some powers, okay, and that powers they are not answerable to the central government. At some cases state governments have to obey or follow the rules of the central government, but almost when they are having some powers, that means the state government is enjoying some powers, that powers cannot be taken by the central government, that is enjoyed by the state government only. They are not answerable to the central government. Am I clear to you children? Now listen, see, but both cases, whether it is unitary government or whether it is federal government, both governments are answerable to the people. Okay, note the point. Both governments, whether it is unitary government or whether it is federal government, both governments are answerable to the people. Am I clear to you? This topic is, I hope this topic is clear. Okay, now let us learn the key features of federalism. What are the key features of federalism? See, in key features of federalism, two or more than two level or tier of government. Now see, first feature, see, two or more than two level or tier of government. Now what do you understand by two or more than two level of government? That means there will be central government, there will be state government, and it may be local government. In India, when we take, there is a central government, there is a state government, and there is a local government, isn't it? Now see, and both, but the peculiarities, all the level of the government, all governments rule the same citizen. See, now how will you explain this point? All government rule the same citizen. See, you are ruled by central government, am I right? We government of India, isn't it? Then we are ruled by state government, our Madhya Pradesh government. Then we are again ruled by municipal corporation, am I right? Local government. So that is what it is explained over here. All the governments rule same citizen. Citizen are the same, but the levels of the governments are different. And one more thing, all are having separate jurisdiction. All the governments, each governments are having different jurisdictions. Okay. Each governments are having different jurisdictions. And what do you mean by jurisdictions? Powers. Okay, and these powers, these jurisdictions are explained in the Constitution. See, each government are having separate powers, separate jurisdictions, and these jurisdictions are mentioned in the Constitution. See, and here courts play the role of an umpire. All the courts, okay, all the courts play the role of an umpire. Now, what is the role of an umpire? Umpire means he takes the decision, right? So, all the courts play the role of an umpire. He takes the decision if there is a fight between central government and state government, and if there is a fight between local government and state government. So, the courts are having the power to take the decision. Okay. Now, see, when we talk about now the revenues and the expenditures, revenues are clearly mentioned. Revenues of each level of government are clearly mentioned in the Constitution. Sources of revenue for each level of government specified to ensure its financial autonomy. That means, sources of revenue, simply it means sources of revenue of each level of government is mentioned in the constitution. It is clearly mentioned. That means, see, for example, central government is having the power to means collect income tax. Sales tax are collected by the state government, and the local taxes like house tax, land tax, these taxes are collected by the local government. Then now see, federal government always have dual objectives. Now what are the dual objectives of federal government? Dual objectives. What are the dual objectives of federal government? That is to promote unity by safeguard and promote unity, and by accommodating the diversities. So, to safeguard and promote the unity of the country by by accommodating the diversities. Am I clear? Okay. So, these are the key features of federalism. So, let me repeat, children, please repeat the key features of federalism. You can have the screenshots of these topics also. So, first, two or more than two levels of government, two or more than two levels of or two tier of government, two or more than two tier of government. All governments rule the same citizen, and each governments are having different jurisdictions. These jurisdictions are clearly mentioned in the constitution, right? Courts play the role of an umpire. Now, sources of revenue for each level of government are specified to ensure its financial autonomy. See, then it is having dual objectives. Now, what are the dual objectives of federalism? The dual objectives of federalism are to promote and safeguard the unity of the country by accommodating diversities. Now see, when we talk about diversities, especially the diversities of India is such a big country with only diverse. We are having diversities, linguistic diversities, then regional diversities, then religious diversities. Diversity. You have already learned in 6th or 7th standard. You remember our diversities. It is geographical diversity. It is like different flowers in a bouquet. Am I clear? So these accommodate, and India is such a country, we are secular state, right? So we accommodate all diversities, right? Why we are accommodating these diversities? To promote and safeguard the unity of our country, right? Now let us go to the other topic. See here, I hope till here the topics are very clear to you, and I hope you are enjoying it also. Now see, there are two routes through which federations can be formed. Now what are the two routes? See, there are two routes through which federations can be formed. First route is coming together federation. Then second is holding together. Now, what do you understand by, so there are two routes to our federations, okay. two routes to the federations. What are the two routes? Coming together federation, holding together federation. Now what do you mean by coming together federation? See, coming together federation means independent states come together to form a bigger unit. That means different states come together. The states are independent. So first point, independent states. So independent states come together to form a bigger unit. Clear? Here the states are independent. Okay. And why they are coming together to form the bigger unit? To pool sovereignty, through which they can be united, and to retaining through pooling sovereignty, by retaining their identity, and increasing security. So mainly they wanted to remain. That means their sovereignty is with them only. They are free, they are independent, the states are independent. But why they are coming together? Because for the security. Say, isn't it, when all the states come together, when it is a bigger unit, that unit will be very powerful. So pool their sovereignty, see, to pool their sovereignty, retain their identity, and increasing. Why they are doing so? To increase their security. Okay, so here states are having the equal powers. Powers. Example, USA, Australia. Now see coming together federation. Now what did you understand by coming together federation? Coming together federation means independent states come together to form a bigger unit. That is known as coming together federation. Clear? Then see, they pool their sovereignty. That means their sovereignty, independency is maintained. Then they maintain their identity, but they come together. Why they are coming together? To secure, means for the security, or to increase their power, isn't it? Here states are independent. So example, USA, then Australia. Clear? I hope this topic is very clear to you. Now second is holding together federation. Now what do you understand by holding together federations? See, first topic, large country decide to see, here large country decide to divide into smaller unit, isn't it? That is known as state governments. That means central government powers, the power is shared between central authority, between central government and state government, even the local governments. Okay, power is shared between central government and state governments. Here central government is more powerful, that is very important. Central government is very powerful. Example, India, Spain. Now see, so there are two routes to the federations. What are the two routes? Please repeat with me, children. Coming together federation and holding together federation. Now see, when you if you want to get an idea of coming together federation, nothing to learn, nothing to worry. All the states come together to form a bigger unit. Why they are coming? These mention the point, these states are independent. Why they are coming together? To make them secure, but they are retaining their identity and but increasing their power, to increase their power. Example, USA, Australia. Now see, what do you understand by holding together federations? Holding together federations, it is like holding, isn't it? Central government hold small state governments. Understood? That means central government is more powerful. Example, India, isn't it? Anyway, any issue happen, anything happen in India, central government takes the final decision, right? So this is coming together federations and holding together federations. Two routes to the federations, coming together federation, holding together federation. Children, you can take the screenshot of these topics. Please take it. It will be helpful for you in your examination. Now next topic. Now see, next we are going to learn about, see, there are division of powers, right? Isn't it? And there are some points which make India a federal country. Now see, powers always should be shared. Now how the powers are shared, how the subjects are decided, it is depending on, when India became independent, we had underwent too much pain, bloodshed. I hope you know that. When we got India back, we were divided. We were divided between India and Pakistan, so that we had already experienced that bloodshed, pain, isn't it? Separating our relatives, one country is dividing into two countries. So that pain we had underwent soon after our independence, right? And when was our constitution implemented? When was our constitution implemented, children? 30th January 1950, isn't it? So in that constitution, our constitution makers, when they drafted the constitution, they divided the powers. They divided, they mentioned about threefold legislative powers. Okay, so this threefold legislative powers made India a federal country. Now what are the threefold legislative powers they enjoy? What are the threefold legislative powers? So you see, the threefold legislative powers are threefold legislative powers, that is so what are the threefold legislative powers? Union list, state list and concurrent list. Okay. Now what do you mean by union list? The subjects of national importance. That means the subjects which is dealt by central government. Okay, subjects which are dealt by central government, that is known as, that comes under union list. Clear? And here central government takes the decision for this subjects. Now see, there are some matters, some subjects which needs a uniform decision. That subjects or that matters come under union list. Clear? So for example, you can say defense, then foreign affairs and banking. This comes under union list. Now what is state list? Some subjects which are taken, which are having the authority by the state government. It is having which gave the local importance. So here state government, that is state government take the decision for these subjects. State government take decisions for the subjects. Okay. Now see, so there are some subjects which is dealt by state government only. They are having the authority to take the decisions. Such subjects are coming under state list. So even example you can see police, trade, etc. Okay, police, trade. Now see, then concurrent list. Now concurrent list. What do you here see, subjects of both common interest, that means both the central government and state government. Okay, subjects of common interest. Central government, both central and state governments can take the decision. Now see, so concurrent list. Concurrent list means subjects of common interest. Both central government and state government can take the decision. Am I clear to you? Example, you can say education, marriage, etc. Okay. So these are the divisions of the legislative powers. So the question can be, and this is an important question for the board examination, how India become, what makes India a federal country, or what are the threefold legislative powers? What are the threefold legislative powers? So you can see that it is please note somewhere, this is an important question. It can be asked for 3 marks in the board examination. That is union list, state list and concurrent list. Clear? These are 3 topics and it is very important. Now we left with, see, we already learned 3 list, isn't it? What are the three lists? Union list, state list and concurrent list. But there is a fourth list which we left over here. Which is the fourth list? It is known as residuary powers. Residuary powers. Now, what do you understand by residuary powers? These are the subjects which came up after the implementation of our constitution. You know, I already told you our constitution was implemented in 1950. So, after the implementation of the subjects like computer, this came after the implementation of our constitution, right? So, these powers are known as residuary powers, computers, softwares, etc. Okay, but it comes under union list, central government. So, this is powers, subjects came after the implementation of the constitution. Subjects which came after the implementation of the constitution, and these subjects you can see that but it comes under, its power is with the central government. So, it comes under which government? It comes under central government. See, so it comes under central government. Example, now you know that example computers, isn't it? You know very well that computers came up after 1950. So, that was a separate subject. The subjects which came up after the implementation of constitution, that comes under residuary powers or residuary list, and central government is having the power to take the decision over here. Sorry children, I hope this topic is clear to you. Now, I told you there are sharing of powers between, I hope you understand the power sharing method, isn't it? Sharing of powers between central government and state government, right? Now, see, when we talk about the power sharing method or sharing of powers between central government and state government, we know that the central government gives some powers to state government, and this category also, some state enjoy more powers and some state enjoy less powers. See, like some states enjoy more powers, like Jammu and Kashmir. Enjoyed more powers earlier, isn't it? But where in 2019, when the Article 370 was removed, this, you know, the monopoly, it was autonomy was changed, isn't it? Earlier what happened? What are the powers enjoyed by Jammu and Kashmir? See, you know very well that you know very well that these powers, Jammu and Kashmir, what happened when Article 370 was changed, removed, what happened, you know that earlier you cannot, outsider cannot purchase a land over there, you cannot establish your business over there. So there were many restrictions they had their own constitution. Now everything is changed, isn't it? And you know that in 2019, Jammu Kashmir was divided, isn't it? It was divided into two states, isn't it? That is the reason behind now we are having, India is having 29 states. Am I clear to you? So earlier, isn't it, even northeastern states of India, they enjoyed some powers. Now see, we spoke about the states which enjoy more powers, isn't it? But now we are speaking about some states which is having less, which are having very less powers or very little power. They come under the rule of central government. Some are having little powers. So, you know, what was the peculiarity of these states? Their power, you know, these states cannot be merged with the existing states, or they cannot be declared as a separate state. This is the peculiarity of these states. So, you know, it is ruled by, these are the states which enjoy little powers. So, like we call these states as union territories. Am I right? It's like Delhi and Lakshadweep, these all come under the rule of central government, isn't it? Now see, so we studied about states. Some states we enjoy more powers and some states enjoy less powers. Now see, this power sharing method, the power sharing method between central government and state government is the basic structure of our constitution. Now see, what is the basic structure of our constitution? See, what is the basic structure of our constitution? The power sharing between central government and state government. Sharing of powers between central government and state government. That is the basic structure of our constitution, of the constitution. Am I clear, children? Power sharing of powers between central government and state government. And we learned a point when that key features we learned there, we said you know, decisions cannot be taken by single government, that means unilaterally decision cannot be taken, that means central government alone cannot make changes, they should get the consent of the state government. Okay, this is the thing. See, so any change has to be, any amendment has to be done, or any act see, any change has to be done in the basic structure. We can amend, we cannot make too much changes, but we can amend, we can add on, make some you know, changes here and there. So if any change has to be done in this basic structure, you should get the you know, there is a procedure, you know, that bill should be presented before Lok Sabha, then it should be taken to the Rajya Sabha, 2/3 majority needed, right? And you should get the, you know, it should be, you should get the related states also. When decisions are taken, you know, the states should you should get the permission, or you should get the consent of the states about which the matter is related. So I hope you understood. When you cannot make a change in the basic structure, yes, you can amend. Amend means you can add or you can subtract. You cannot totally remove, isn't it? So for that also there is a procedure. The bill should be presented in the parliament. That too, the related state also, their consent also should be taken. That means decisions unilaterally cannot be taken. It should be presented in the parliament, and after that, that 2/3 majority should be taken. When the bill is getting 2/3 majority, it will be taken to where? It will be taken to Rajya Sabha, right? And from Rajya Sabha, then if they get the 2/3 majority, it will be taken for the signature of the president. Am I right? Now see, this is the basic structure of the constitution. Now see, we know that the role of judiciary in India, role of judiciary. What is the role of judiciary in India? Judiciary plays an important role in India. I hope you may be remembering our check and balance system we learned in the first chapter. Do you remember check and balance system? You know that different organs of the government, that means central government, state government and local government, and different organs of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature, executive and judiciary, right? So here we know that executives appoint the judiciary. What is check and balance system? Do you remember? Do you remember, children? Executives appoint the judiciary. Am I right? But once the judiciary is appointed, are you getting me? They are having the power to check the powers of executives and even the legislature, isn't it? That is why we say judiciary plays an important role in India, right? Judiciary plays an important role in India, isn't it? Why we say that judiciary plays an important role in India? Because as I told you, judiciary is appointed by the executives. But once the judiciary is appointed, they are more powerful than executives and even the legislative. Clear to all of you? Yeah. And we are having different codes in India, and even the decision that is taken about the union government and the state government. As I told you earlier, if there is a conflict happens between union government and the state government, who takes the decision? Judiciary takes the decision. Courts take the decision. High courts or supreme courts takes the decision. Am I clear to you, children? Okay. Now let us repeat the topics that we have learned today. What are the topics we have learned? We started with federalism. Now, what do you understand by federalism? Come on, what do you understand by federalism? Federalism means sharing of powers between central government and its constituent units. That means between central government and state government, isn't it? And we spoke about two types of government. Which are the two types of government? Unitary government and one more government. Which is one more government? Come on, girls, come on. Which is other government? Unitary government and, come on, children, federal government. Am I right? Correct. Unitary government and federal government. What is the difference between unitary government and federal government? Unitary government, that is, you can see that only there will be central government and some state governments or the provinces will be there, but who is more powerful here? Central government, right? And central government can pass orders to state governments, right? Okay. Now what about federal government? Federal government means powers shared between central government and state government, right? And you know that central government cannot pass orders to state government, right? Central government cannot pass orders to state government, right? Then what happens, you know, state government are having some powers, and that powers central government cannot interfere also. Am I clear to you, children? Okay. Now let us learn the key features of federalism. What are the key features of federalism? The dual form of government, that means two or more than two level or tiers of government. Each tier rule the same citizen. Am I right? Then each tier is having its own jurisdictions, and these jurisdictions are mentioned in the constitution. Am I clear? Then see, fundamental provisions cannot be unilaterally changed. That means whatever written in the constitution, one government alone cannot make change in the constitution. Are you getting me? They should get 2/3 majority. There is a procedure if any changes has to be done. Now then we know that if a fight happens between central government and the union government, or between two state governments, central government and state government, or between two state governments, who will take the decision? Courts will take the decision, right? Okay. Now see, and we know that revenue, about sources of revenue for each level of government are also clearly mentioned in our constitution. Why? It is to ensure the financial autonomy, isn't it? Sources of revenue to ensure the financial autonomy. Now finally, dual objectives of federalism. What are the dual objectives of federalism? To safeguard and promote unity of the country. How you are safeguarding and promoting the unity of the country? By accommodating diversities. When we speak about diversity, India is a country with all, means like geographical diversity, linguistical diversities, regional diversities, religious diversities. Am I right? So accommodating all diversities. Now there are roots to these federations. Two roots to the federations. Now what are the two roots to the federations? The two roots to the federations are, you tell me, children? Coming together federation, holding together federation. Now what do you understand by coming together federations? Bigger units come to some independent states come together to form a bigger unit. Now why they are coming together to form a bigger unit? Why? To increase their power, isn't it? Increase the security. And how they are increasing the security? By retaining, isn't it? By retaining their identity, they increase their power, security. For example, USA, isn't it? Now, holding together federations. Which are the holding together federations? What do you mean by holding together federation? That means smaller central, one large country decides to divide into different smaller unit. Isn't that a smaller unit here means states? And these states is not, anyway these states are dependent on the central government. They are not independent like India, isn't it? Central government take the final decision. Then Then we spoke about what makes India a federal country, isn't it? What makes India a federal country? Threefold legislative powers made India a federal country. Children, I hope you have enjoyed my class, and all the best to all of you. May God bless you.